Hello to all my friends out there in social media land. It is the Fat Kid, and I am back. We've been away for about the last week or so. Some things have gone on. We lost the Mount Rushmore video for the Orioles and the Nationals. The file got corrupted, so I've been re-recording that, as well as doing the Diamondbacks and the Twins that I told you that I was going to get done. Those will probably be up later this week. Some fun stuff in the works. We're going to talk about today NFL Week 3. There's my Twitter handle, @TheyCallMeBurn. Instagram, fatkidcertifiedse. Follow me on those. Lots of fun stuff coming up there as well. Also some ideas that we have coming up that you guys can see on the channel. I'm going to talk every Thursday. We're going to go AEW versus NXT. On my awesome board. We're going to talk about the head-to-head shows. I'm going to watch both of them on Thursday morning, and then we're going to do a show, and we're going to tell you who won the battle of the Wednesday Night Wars. So that's going to be a fun one that we have coming up. Also, in the works, we're talking to Craig, who was on a couple videos with me before the NFL season started, as well as J-Gro, the Fat Kids, potentially doing the first ever Fat Kids Certified Sports Entertainment Major League Baseball Awards as the baseball season is wrapping up. But that's about enough of what's coming up in the future. Let's talk about why you guys are here right now. It is Week 3 rapid reviews of the National Foosball League. Some big things happened. We lost the Week 2 video. In that video, it was the video that I titled, "The Day the Quarterback Died." Drew Brees and Ben Roethlisberger out for the year. Shortly after I recorded the video, Eli Manning got benched. Cam Newton has a list fracture in his foot. So there's a lot of first-time quarterbacks playing on Sunday, and it was a lot of fun. What we'll do now is we'll go through the scoreboard, and we will talk a little bit about each game, and then I will get into my heavier takes towards the end of the show. So if you already know what you think I'm going to say here in these situations, fast forward a little bit further, and you guys can get to where I'm going to speak about the bulk of what happened in Week 3 of the NFL. We'll start with the Thursday night game. The Jacksonville Jaguars hosted the Tennessee Titans. Gardner Minshew lit up the scoreboard. He threw for, 2 touchdowns? 20-7, Jaguar win. I'm really sick and tired of Thursday Night Football. I think it's a waste. I think if you're going to do a weeknight game, don't leave it on Monday night and just let's do Sunday, Monday, and let's stop killing these guys for nothing. The Sunday slate, we'll start with the team that I love near and dear to my heart, the Cincinnati Bengals. They lost a heartbreaker. Frank Gore scored with about 2 minutes left to give the Bills the lead back. Andy Dalton had the Bengals driving and threw an interception with about 35 seconds to go. Bills get to 3-0. Bengals fall to 0-3. Not the start that I wanted, especially if you guys watched the over-under video with Craig. A game that was very uninspiring for a team that a lot of people are overhyping. And yes, I'm using the word overhype because they've beaten 3 teams who are combined 0-9. That is the Dallas Cowboys. They finally get it together in the second half, scoring 21 unanswered. Beat the Dolphins 31-6. That score makes that game seem a lot further apart than what it was. Dallas did nothing here to shock the world. So, yeah, we'll move on from them. Green Bay Packers get to 3-0. They beat the Denver Broncos 27-16. A very untypical day for Aaron Rodgers. Only had 17 completions for 235 yards and a touchdown. I'm not really concerned about Aaron Rodgers because, hey guys, it's Aaron Rodgers. He'll figure it out whenever you need him to. So, not really the panic button if I'm the Packers, especially at 3-0. But you never want to panic whenever you have Aaron Rodgers as your quarterback. In a game that the Colts got out to an early lead, held on. They were up 20-3 at the half. Atlanta came roaring back, but Jacoby Brissett was able to hold on. Colts 27, Falcons 24. Colts get to 2-1. Falcons get to 1-2. Big game for Julio Jones. 8 catches, 128 yards, and a touchdown. Jacoby Brissett threw for 2 touchdowns in that game. Very surprised with how fast the Colts have gotten off since the Andrew Luck retirement. Very, very big fan of Jacoby Brissett. In the Week 3 matchup of the week, it was the 2-0 Baltimore Ravens and the 2-0 Kansas City Chiefs in a game that could be an AFC divisional round, maybe even AFC title game, depending on what happens with the Patriots. A thing that could be a build-up to the future. This one was a back-and-forth nail-biter. The Chiefs hold on 33-28. Patrick Mahomes goes for 374 passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Lamar Jackson did not have his greatest game. I feel like this is hey, he played a really good defense, and now we're seeing that while Lamar Jackson's throwing motion has improved, I don't know if we're ready to crown him the greatest accuracy at quarterback. Big game for Mark Ingram, 16 carries, 103 yards, and 3 scores for the former Saint. Minnesota gets to 2-1 with a win over the Oakland Raiders. They do it the same way they did in Week 1. It was the run game. It was Dalvin Cook, 16 carries, 110 yards, and a touchdown. That's really been the Vikings' key here, has been the run game. Dalvin Cook is the NFL leader in rushing yards. Very big fan of him. I was huge on him coming into the year. I think he's going to be a guy who could be a workhorse. No surprise in Foxborough. Patriots over the Jets, 30-14. They got out to a 20-0 lead at the break. It was 30-7 at the end of 3.
Hold on. You keep coming in and out. It's only because you're moving. You should be good. Okay.
Tom Brady goes 28 of 42 for 306 and 2 scores as the Patriots get to 3-0. Jets go to 0-3. Life after Sam Darnold, not good. Mononucleosis. Trevor Siemian fractured ankle. So Luke Falk was their starting quarterback in this game. Life is not good to be a Jets. Hopefully after the Week 4 bye, you get Sam Darnold back and they can try to get this show on the road. In a game that I don't think anybody thought they had a chance of winning, but they somehow found a way to do it, the Detroit Lions get to 2-0-1 after the tie with Arizona in Week 1 as they beat Philadelphia Eagles on the road 27-24. Matt Stafford threw a touchdown to Marvin Jones, a 100-yard kickoff return from Jamal Agnew. 2 big scores there for the Detroit Lions. Eagles maybe panicking a little bit, 1-2, and a lot of their wide receivers are dinged up. A game that we're going to discuss a little bit more in depth, so I'm not going to go over too much right here. Carolina Panthers, without Cam Newton, win 38-20 over Arizona. We're going to get to that game in a few minutes. And another game we're going to discuss a little bit more in depth. Daniel Jones gets win number 1 after taking over for Eli Manning as the Giants win last minute 32-31 over the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. In a game that I thought was going to be a lot more exciting than what the final score may lead it up to be, it was. The Houston Texans get to 2-1. They defeated the Los Angeles Chargers, who fall to 1-2, 27-20. Deshaun Watson throws for 351 yards. In a game that was going to really be built up as the future of the quarterback position, Jimmy Garoppolo and the San Francisco 49ers were supposed to host Ben Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger goes out for the rest of the year with the elbow injury. He is replaced by Mason Rudolph. And Rudolph, the red-nosed reindeer, had these guys in a shot to win this. Garoppolo hits Dante Pettis with a 5-yard touchdown with 1:15 remaining. Niners, 24. Steelers, 20. 3-0 San Francisco. 0-3 Pittsburgh. Could the bus be leaving the station for the Pittsburgh Steelers? We may discuss that. We may not. We may leave that for a couple weeks. Sprinkle and see how much time we have left. New Orleans Saints, 33. They get to 2-1. They beat the Seahawks. Life after Drew Brees does not look as bad as you would think it would be. The thumb injury kept Brees out, but it was Teddy Bridgewater who worked effectively, worked smart, and got this team out to an early lead. They were up at one point in this game 27-7 and did not look back. Seattle added 20 points in the fourth quarter, including a touchdown as time expired. The Sunday night game was a good game. Rams 20, Browns 13. If this Browns team can figure out how to work around Freddie Kitchens' decisions, like running a draw play on 4th down, the Browns may just be just fine. There's not a lot of teams in the AFC that are great. There are not a lot of teams in the AFC North that are going to beat them. It's going to be Baltimore and them really fighting for that division, especially now with Cincinnati being 0-3 and Pittsburgh being completely dinged up and having Mason Rudolph at quarterback. In a game that I thought was an absolute waste of time, the Monday Night Football contest was the Chicago Bears going into Washington. Bears get to 2-1 with a 31-15 win over the Washington Redskins, who I don't know how they're still a franchise. But that's enough of the wrap-up, and let's go into a little bit more in-depth on what happened in detail in Week 3 of the National Football League. All right, so Week 3, the rapid reaction, the things that I want to discuss more in depth. The rise of Daniel Jones at quarterback for the New York Football Giants. Jones, in his NFL debut, led a 2-minute drill and scored the game-winning touchdown on a quarterback keeper from about 10 yards out to beat the Buccaneers 30-21. Jones went 23 of 36 for 336 yards, 2 touchdowns, had 4 carries and 2 scores. Big news here also, Saquon Barkley out for at least the next 4 to 8 weeks with a high ankle sprain. He only had 8 carries for 10 yards before the injury, so he wasn't having the greatest game in the world. but a big blow to an already depleted Giants organization. No Saquon. They made the change at quarterback. I think I'm playing wide receiver for him later this week. I don't know yet. I'm still waiting on the email from my lawyer and my attorney because everybody else has been hurt for them or suspended with Golden Tate being out. So it's been a big blow for the New York Giants. Daniel Jones got the job done. Evan Ingram had a nice long touchdown catch from Jones. So I wasn't the biggest fan of Daniel Jones coming out of college, coming out of Duke. But I am a fan of the way he was able to lead this team, lead this offense. Big plus for him. I think he's got a lot of upside, and I think he's a guy that could be a major foundation piece for them moving forward. Moving on to another quarterback who had a great game in his NFL, maybe not his NFL debut, but definitely his first start of the 2019 season. That was Kyle Allen of the Carolina Panthers. I said we were going to talk about them. 38-20 win for the Panthers in a game that I don't think anybody legitimately thought they had a chance of winning once Cam Newton was announced as being out because of Kyler Murray. So Newton, like I said, mid-foot sprain is what they're calling it. Supposedly there's talk of there's a lisp fracture in the top of his foot. They'll keep him out for 6 to 8 weeks if that's the case. Allen had a decent game, 19-26 for 261 yards and 4 scores. He led the offense down the field, was very methodical with his throwing decisions, and he also let finally the Carolina Panthers and Ron Rivera let Christian McCaffrey do what Christian McCaffrey can do. 24 carries, 153 yards, a touchdown. Had 3 catches for 35 yards. Big game for McCaffrey, and I think that's going to be the leading force for them moving forward, is Christian McCaffrey. I think they're going to have to get the ball in his hand any way possible. Other quarterbacks that filled in, like I said, Teddy Bridgewater got the win in the New Orleans versus Seattle game. Bridgewater's stat line was 19-27 for 177 yards and 2 touchdowns. The defensive special teams each had a touchdown for the Saints to really get them pumped up and going. Mason Rudolph got the loss 24-20 in that Niners versus Steelers game. Rudolph went 14-27 for 174 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 1 interception. Now, when the news broke that Antonio Brown decided to go AWOL and go rogue, I guess is the way to say it, after his Patriot debut where he scored a touchdown, little did any of us know that would be Antonio Brown's only game as a New England Patriot. Brown was released on, I want to say it was Saturday. I don't remember the exact day. Brown was released after sending texts to the woman who supposedly accused him of sexual harassment. Brown has been released from his contract. Brown then went on a tirade on Twitter saying that he was done with the NFL and re-enrolled in classes at Central Michigan. I've had conversations with people. Antonio Brown has not been the same since that Vontaze Burfict hit in the playoffs a couple years ago. I'm not going to say that caused Antonio Brown to have a screw loose, because I think he already had one loose, but it could be the Madden curse. Either way, it's not good. I hope that if Brown is going back to school to actually do schooling stuff, I hope that works out for him, because I want to see everyone succeed. I don't want anyone to see anybody really tumble. But the biggest stat line from Antonio Brown's 2019 is that he went from being guaranteed to make like $300 million to making like $9 million to now making like $158,000. When the bottom drops out, the bottom drops out. So we're going to get into the Week 4 selections and who I think is going to win each game. We'll start with the Thursday night game. Philadelphia 1-2 at 3-0 Green Bay. I will take the Packers. I will take Aaron Rodgers, and it will be panic mode for the Philadelphia Eagles after this game. The Sunday slate starts 1-2 Tennessee at 1-2 Atlanta. Give me the Falcons to get to 2-2. Battle of the 3-0, Battle of the AFC East. The New England Patriots traveled to Ralph Wilson. They traveled to Buffalo. I do think New England gets out of here with a win. I think this game's going to be a lot closer than anybody thinks it's going to be. I will take the Patriots. I don't know what the line is right now, but if you can get it for under probably 7, I may take the Bills with the points. Another battle of undefeated. 3-0 Kansas City going into Ford Field to play the 2-0-1 Detroit Lions. I think Kansas City gets out of this game undefeated as well. I don't know if this game's going to be as close as you may think it's going to be, but I do think Kansas City gets out of this one with a win and probably covers the spread. 1-2 Oakland at 2-1 Indianapolis. I am on the Jacoby Brissett train. Give me the Colts to get to 3-1. The Chargers, 1-2, are going to travel to Miami to take on a team who has 10 total points on the year. I think this one is the easiest game of the week. Give me the Chargers. Washington, 0-3 at the Giants. The home opener for Daniel Jones. Not for the Giants, but for Daniel Jones. His first start as a member of the Giants at home. Give me the Giants. Give me the Giants in a bloodbath. I think they run this one up. 1-2 Cleveland at 2-1 Baltimore. First game in the division for these two teams. I think this one's going to be an absolute barn burner. I think Baltimore gets out of here with a win because they are the home team. I would not be surprised if Cleveland, though, can find a way to get the job done. Baker Mayfield, that defense has been really, really good. Mayfield has been decent at times. Needs to stop trying to get his guys killed by throwing the ball over the middle and almost getting them decapitated. But that'll come over time. The 1-2 Carolina Panthers go on the road to Houston. Kyle Allen was good in Arizona. I don't think he can be that good against Houston. J.J. Watt and that defense is going to be after him all day. I think Christian McCaffrey's going to have to carry this team. But give me Houston. Give me Deshaun Watson as the victor here. As the Texans get to 3-1. Tampa Bay Buccaneers travel to Los Angeles to play the NFC champion Los Angeles Rams. I think they're going to be traveling back to Tampa Bay with a loss. Give me the Rams. They get to 4-0. 2-1 Seattle at 0-2-1 Arizona. First time that these teams are meeting divisional matchups this year. I will take Seattle 3-1 after this game. Thing here, I know they were down big in that Saints game, but they cannot have Russell Wilson throwing the ball 50 times a game. They've got to get the run game going. They've got to get Carson going. Penny was out with the quad injury, so they have to figure out what they're going to do there. But I don't think 50 pass attempts for Russell Wilson is going to get the Seattle team many victories. So give me Seattle here to get to 3-1. In a game that may be bowling shoe ugly, the NFC North has two teams that are 2-1, and every team in that division has a winning record. This one is Dalvin Cook, Kirk Cousins, and the Minnesota Vikings traveling to Chicago to play Khalil Mack and the Chicago Bears. I think Mitchell Trubisky has a chance to be a really great quarterback. I don't know if this year is the year that Mitchell Trubisky does this, so give me Minnesota, give me Dalvin Cook in a game that is controlled via the run game. Jacksonville at 1-2 is going to go to Denver. It is Gardner Minshew versus Joe Flacco. Don't know if anybody thought that was going to be the tagline leading into this, especially with Nick Foles being the potential starting quarterback for the Jacksonville Jaguars. Give me Gardner, give me Uncle Rico. Jaguars get to 2-2. Broncos fall to 0-4. Sunday night game is a game, whenever this schedule was released, was going to be a good one. 3-0 Dallas at 2-1, New Orleans. It was supposed to be Breeze versus Prescott, but now it is Prescott versus Teddy Bridgewater. I'm going to take the New Orleans Saints here. I think this is a game that Alvin Kamara, Michael Thomas, those guys find a way to finally exploit the above average but not great Dallas defense, and I think that the New Orleans Saints defense finds a way to contain Dak Prescott. Give me the Saints to hold home ground. And in a game that is the Monday Night Football game, a game that I hold near and dear to my heart, it is the first divisional matchup of the AFC North for the Cincinnati Bengals and the Pittsburgh Steelers. I'm going to take Cincinnati to win this game on the road. I think that they get the win finally. I do not like Mason Rudolph. I don't think he's going to be that great. I can't pick Pittsburgh no matter how much because I'm a Bengal fan and I hate their guts. But hey, that's me. So I'm going to take Cincinnati to get to 1-3 on the year. I think this game is going to be a game that's probably like 17-14, maybe 21-20, something like that. Something really weird. These games are always really close and they always beat the crap out of each other, so I'm really excited for this game. So that is my Week 4 winners. Or my picks, anyways. I can't say winners because I don't know if they're all going to win. But if they all win, feel free to let your boy know. So that will be the Week 3 rapid reactions and the Week 4 who I think is going to win. My next video that you guys will see will be the Mount Rushmore for the Nationals / Expos and the Orioles. And hopefully record that one here in a little while. Diamondbacks and Twins is coming up. The AEW versus NXT stuff. As well as the preview for Hell in the Cell, which is coming up a week from Sunday, which is on my birthday, which is October 6th. So super pumped for that. As always, follow me on Twitter at TheyCallMeBurn. Follow me on Instagram, fatkidcertifiedse. Hit the like button, subscribe for me, guys. I'm trying to get as many subscribers as I can so that we can start trying to make a profit off of this thing so I can start doing some more giveaways. Until then, I'm going to go raid the refrigerator because I'm hungry. So let's eat.